Folks, the markets are not looking good right now. It's about 3 p.m., so we just got into power hour, and all the indexes are down. We have the Russell down 1.4%, the Nasdaq's down 1.5%, the S&P's down 0.9%, and the Dow Jones is down 0.5% as the VIX is up over 5%. So we're going to break down the markets in this video, and of course, we're going to talk about Google stock, which is down, last I checked, 7-8%, and we're going to break down Tesla, which surprisingly is over $200 today, up 2.5% roughly. So sit back, relax, of course. Take a sip of your coffee, guys. Get your free stocks from Moomoo and from Webull. Link down below. It's free money, guys. Who doesn't like free money? Check out my Patreon as well if you want. And let's dive into the video. So we're getting some double top action here on SPY. Let me pull this up and show you guys. Maybe on the 10-day chart, you'll be able to see it. Maybe not double top action, but overall, we're looking pretty toppy. Maybe a triple top here at about 416 to about 418. You guys can see that. We hit that point on the 2nd of February, 3rd of February, and yesterday, including today, we've been failing at about 415 on SPY. Now we're clearly dumping, and we're pretty much holding on by a thread above 410 to 408, which that's pretty much the last straw right here for the bulls. Well, I don't want to seem dramatic, like, oh, the markets are one support away from collapsing. That's not necessarily true, but let's just say if 408 breaks, the tumble could start to occur. And after that, and mind you, I'll set my alert now at 408. Let me do that. Mark is out. We're below 408. After that, we could fill the gap down to 400. Then if that starts to break, if we get under 400 on SPY, it's going to be ugly. It's going to start to get ugly at that point. And on triple Q, let me pull that up in a second, and let me see. Let's actually look here. And honestly, if it breaks 408, it's not the end of the world because it would still be above the 180 moving average. But once we start falling under 400 and 396, which is exactly where the 180 SMA is here on the 4-hour chart, that is where things could start to turn. And triple Q right now, guys, is showing signs of clear resistance as well. Triple top action at about 310, 312. We failed there. Now we're at 305, holding on by a thread above that 50 SMA, which if we break under that point at 295, we start cracking under 290, that's where things are going to start to slip. We're not completely collapsing yet, but we are clearly seeing a big sell-off, big resistance, which is at about 312 here on triple Q, 313, which actually is the high from back in the middle of September, which we've talked about on the channel here before. So quite frankly, I'm not surprised that we're selling off at this point, and the fact that we failed again. It makes complete sense to me. So let's dive into Google now and talk a little bit about what's going on here. Google's down 7.4% after their AI event, which is actually the day after Microsoft's AI event. And you guys know Microsoft, they have they made a $10 billion investment into OpenAI, who owns ChatGPT, which you guys probably have used it. I've used it a couple times. I've messed around with it, and a lot of the times that I try and use it, it's there's too many people on it. They put you on a wait list. You have to put your email down to actually get in. And of course, there's a lot of people trying to use it, so I guess you have to try and find the off hours to use it. But either way, Google is going to be competing with ChatGPT, which, are you guys surprised? I for sure am not surprised. The company held an event that showed off their new AI chatbot, which is called Bard. I'm not in love with the name, I'll be honest, but it's called Bard, B-A-R-D, which I don't know how they came to that name, but that's what it's called, Bard. And this technology will start to roll out in a couple of weeks. They're going to be testing it with, certain people. Then, of course, they're going to start rolling it out to the masses. And the funny thing is, again, they did this the day after Microsoft's AI event. It's like they're trying to one-up them or something, right? And what was said is, let's say, what you, and mind you, you can use Bard for many different things. I was reading and, I watched it. The guy was like, you can use it in different scenarios. Like let's say, for example, you're going on a road trip and you want this chatbot to help you, navigate or, pick where to go, or your different options, things like that. Let's say you're buying a car and you just want to see the different options that suit you and your family the best, right? What's best for you. You ask the chat bot, and then boom, it gives you a bunch of options and reasons, stuff like that, right? And of course, it's going to get better over time, guys. In fact, there was an inaccurate reporting, which we'll talk about here in a second. But let's say you're in the market for a new car. This is straight from the words here. Let's say you're in the market for a new car, one that, fits you and your family. Bard can help you think through different angles to consider, from budget to safety and more, and simplify and make sense of all of the options, right? And again, that road trip, scenario was another one. And there was reports that this is actually not the best sign, but of course, this is still early days. They're going to have to figure it out. There are reports that have also pointed out that Bard, like other AI tools, can be inaccurate, guys. This thing it's not God. It doesn't know all the answers. It doesn't have all the answers. It can be inaccurate, and that's just reality. You got to realize that. And a recent advertisement for Google's service showed Bard offering the incorrect description of the telescope used to take the first pictures of a planet outside of our solar system, for example. So that's a mistake that it made. A Google spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for a comment on the ad. So I'm sure ChatGPT, and I'm sure, and of course they didn't name that and say, oh, ChatGPT's made mistakes as well, but I'm sure they've reported inaccurate information. I'm sure they, have done stuff like that in other AI services. And the thing is, guys, with these AI services, it's not the end all be all. Like, a lot of people are on ChatGPT right now, and they're like, write me a product description, write me an ad, do this, do that for me. And they literally copy and paste exactly what ChatGPT is giving them, and they're using that word for word. In my opinion, that's not the way to do it. You want to, at least I believe, build upon what ChatGPT produces for you, or add to it, or sift through it and maybe take things out or add things or adjust things. That's just in my opinion. It's kind of like, it's not like a final draft that ChatGPT gives you. It's kind of like the rough draft where it's it compiles information or whatever, and then you go in there and add to it. Again, like I said, take things away, do whatever, right? That's at least how I would use it and how I have used it. And honestly, I haven't done anything like that with ChatGPT. Like, write me a YouTube video description or a title or a script or anything. I actually haven't done that. That might be a good idea to try that one time for fun. I've used it to like BS and write me a poem, or tell me this or that. Or I was asking it facts about the stock market just to see, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, this is what's going on right now, guys. The race to dominate AI has been a thing, and of course now it's accelerating. And Microsoft, if you guys didn't know, they own Bing. And let's be honest, I mean, who in the world uses Bing? I don't know. Do you use Bing? Let me know in the comments, guys, because I sure don't use Bing. But they're going to be integrating ChatGPT with Bing, right? That's what they're going to be doing. But in my opinion, if Google can nail down this chatbot, make it better than ChatGPT, and they integrate it with Google, that's a game changer. That is what's going to dominate. No doubt about it. And I'm an owner of Google, guys. You know that I own the stock, and I'm going to continue to buy the stock. I love this company long term. And let's see Tesla now. Let's shift gears a little bit, because this thing just keeps on doing the impossible. Today, Tesla's up. Well, now it's at $199.83 when I'm making this video, but it broke over $200 freaking dollars today, and the intraday high is actually 203. So this thing broke 200. Hit 203. Now we're pulling back, but we're still up over 1.5% in the midst of a pretty nasty red day so far, with the VIX up 7%. So the fact that the Tesla stock continues to truck past these levels, and granted, it's not fully breaking out above the highs from the middle of November, beginning of December. We're not there yet, but if 200 does break, 202, let's say 205 in general. If 205 breaks, I could be proven wrong, because I said I don't think Tesla's going to break 200. And I mean, this thing just completely keeps making people look stupid. I'm not saying I look stupid. I don't know. Maybe I look stupid, but it just keeps on going past people's expectations. And that's why I always say, with a stock like Tesla, be careful. Don't short it. Well, I'm not telling you what to do, but I never short it. I never buy puts on it, because you never know what's going to happen. It just keeps on trucking. It's like one of those stocks, and no pun intended, right? With the Cybertruck. And, it's one of those stocks that just keeps on moving, right? It's a cult stock. Let's be honest. A lot of people are religious about Tesla. It is insane. And that's one con about people with Tesla. I feel like they're married to that stock completely. They never admit when Elon Musk does something stupid or wrong, or when Tesla doesn't meet this deadline or this expectation. I'm not crapping on Tesla, but there's people out there that are seriously ingrained into Tesla, and it's like a cult. And in the stock market, guys, that's very difficult. That is or very dangerous rather, because if the fundamentals change, things aren't going as good as you thought they were going to go, and you're married to that stock, you're a cult follower, you won't look at open your eyes and smell the sun, or smell the coffee and see the sunshine, right? You're going to get caught up in a stock where you're going to ride it to the ground, in other words, right? If you're not willing to step back and objectively look at it and be like, oh, the fundamentals are deteriorating, maybe I should get out. And I'm not saying Tesla's fundamentals are deteriorating. They're not. But I'm just talking about stocks in general, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. We're about 11 minutes in. Perfect. If you all enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe and get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and up to 12 stocks from Webull. Link down below. All those free stocks, guys, help out the channel. I appreciate you guys. It's a win-win. You get some free stocks that helps out the channel. And if you want to check out the Patreon, which I made another buy today in the Patreon portfolio, check out the Patreon. Link down below. You get all the moves in the Patreon portfolio, which I just started a couple days ago. We're already, buying stocks in there. And you get Discord access, charts throughout the day, exclusive content. It's a jam-packed Patreon. Link down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.